Yeah, so they kind of work together in that way. I mean, there's sodium channels that are already there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that aldosterone's going to make more of them, so it works even better.
How long do those sodium channels last?
Oh, I don't know. They last a while. It's just our body, we don't use all the channels that we have all the time.
Okay.
Kind of like with clear back to rhodopsin, how we activate it and inactivate it depending on how much light there is.
Uh-huh.
Same with other proteins. We can just inactivate them if we don't
Okay.
want them all to be working.
That's cool. That's so cool that we can.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the only one that's like for just high blood pressure is the A and H. I forgot what that stands. Oh wait, atrial something. Atrial sodium.
Atrial, good. Atrial sodium uretic.
Which is like, oh okay.
So atrial natriuretic hormone.
So, it's not. It's gonna let more water leave and go to the urine. It's the opposite of ADH.
Good, good. So it's going to do basically the exact opposite of ADH.
So the atria, is it coming out of the atria, that hormone is?
Yeah, so when the atria become overstretched,
Uh-huh.
they sense that that's high blood pressure because I've got all this blood coming back to me. So they're overstretched. So then they release this atrial natriuretic hormone.
Oh, okay.
So that hormone goes to the kidneys and it tells the kidneys, let's not reabsorb as much sodium. You know, and without looking, I don't know exactly what the mechanism is for that, but it could be something like deactivating sodium channels.
Oh,
Or,
I see.
you know, it could be something like that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's going to either close off channels or something so that we don't reabsorb as much of it. More sodium goes into the urine, and some more water is going to follow it.
Okay. And then the fluid shift, that one's just bringing water in or out. Well, isn't that like, so that's just a general term for what these are doing, right?
Well, the fluid shift is more specifically in the blood vessels, so in
Okay.
the tissue. So for example, when my blood pressure is high, so let me go back just a little bit. We always have fluid going out of our blood vessels, right, and then coming back in. So when our blood pressure is really high, more fluid is going to be forced out into the tissues. So
Oh,
that
okay.
fluid is going to shift from the vessels to the tissues.
So if somebody always has high blood pressure, like, and that mechanism's working, are they gonna get elephantitis?
Well, I mean, not quite elephantitis, but yeah, they're going to have
Like a little
swelling. So like people with congestive heart failure, the problem is their heart can't pump the blood as well as it should. So
Mhm.
blood circulates around and then it kind of gets backed up. And as it backs up, it goes down into, you know, and pools up in our legs and whatnot. And so the pressure, even though it's venous pressure, so veins and then in our arteries too, they're having to, you know, try to go, the whole thing starts to get backed up.
Oh, okay.
And so that pressure builds up. People with CHF are probably going to have, well, I shouldn't go there, that was confusing. But anyways, so that fluid's going to shift out into their tissues and they're going to get swelling. But so anyway, the idea is that when our blood pressure is high, that fluid's going to shift into our tissues, we're going to swell up.
Mhm.
When our blood pressure is lower, the fluid's going to go into the blood vessels more.
I see.
So it's like when you go to work out, you know, if you're wearing a ring or watch or something, it gets kind of tight.
Mhm.
Then you're done working out, you know, half an hour later when you've been relaxing, it starts to shrink back down.
Because your blood pressure is getting too high, and so it's gonna. That's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yep, your pressure gets higher when you're working out because you've got to get all that extra oxygen in your tissues. And so if your pressure goes up, then you swell up a little bit.
What? That's cool.